Hi guys, I'm Tom, I'm working in Liver as a product manager, and today I will tell you about issues, challenges with delivery of your application, of your product. Why it takes so long and why sometimes it doesn't work as it should. Yeah, so as always, there can be a lot of different reasons, and today I will say about those basics, most important. The first one, where you should put attention even if you're not technical person. Yeah, for example, you're owner of the startup, you're not happy from the software house, from your product the development company, your team, and what can you do quite fast to detect where potentially challenges are. Yeah. And if we go to this topic, then as always you should have a look from three perspectives: the process, tools, and people. Yeah, so your team is not only are not only people but also tools which they use, and the process they have they implemented, yeah, is implemented in. So let's start from the process. The most usual problem is where your product is not properly versioned. Yeah, so it's not well planned. There is no process how to divide the releases into versions, and developers are working on something, and then in some moment suddenly someone decide, okay, let's release it, and then they put version, the number on the application. Yeah, but it shouldn't work like this. It should be well-defined, designed process where upfront someone decide what we are aiming, what we are going to do, what we want to include into release, and then just execute it. Yeah, so this is very important. And the second one is lack of proper continuous delivery process. This is very important to understand it, to know it, and to automate it. Yeah, so if the process from the moment when code is is committed to the code repository to the moment when application is available to your users, this process we call continuous the delivery process. And when we say continuous, it means that it's well automated and we can release new version very, very fast. Yeah, and a lot of things which have to happen during this process are automated. So this is important, and if your team is doing all those things manually, it doesn't mean that it's wrong, but you should really have a look on it, because probably some issues are there. The next one are tools. Yeah, and when we talk about tools in slow delivery to the market, then probably your team can struggle a bit with planning, with roadmaps, with proper, let's say, tools which can help here. Yeah, it can be Jira. If you are able to configure Jira properly, then of course it can be used for doing it. It can be, for example, AHA. There is a lot of tools, but you really need to use them. Of course, it can be done in Excel, of course, but tools make it easier. But if you have good process and you will combine it with proper tools, then the results will be much, much better. Yeah, so have a look on it. And the last are people. Yeah, so the most usual problem is that people, developers team is working on new version, new release of your application, of your solution. They are during sprint, and suddenly someone is adding new issues, bugs, features to the sprint. Yeah, and then they just start doing it, and then your release date, of course, have to be changed, postponed, and then it makes everything longer. Yeah, so instead of doing it, you should put more attention on really good planning, and if there is an issue, then probably it shouldn't be fixed during current sprint, or if yes, then you should release a hotfix of your product. If it's something what can't wait, then it should wait until next sprint or next release. Yeah, there is a lot of ways how to manage it, but it shouldn't be like your team is stopped doing something, then they do something else, they include it into the scope, because then the release date is more and more postponed to the future. So this is very important to remember it. And also, sometimes it's a problem with, for example, branches. Yeah, so people store code in the repository, but they do not know how to manage the code in the repository properly. Yeah? So, for example, they don't use branches in the Git repository, which then makes very problematic to release hotfix very fast, because everything is in one branch, and they have to finish other things before they can come back to releasing something. Yeah, so this is something what can postpone release of new version very to the future, and this is something what you should really have a look. Even if you're not technical, then ask how developers are using branches. You can read many articles on it in the internet, how it should be done correctly. And of course, as always, if you have any questions, you can ask me. I will do all my best to help you, to help your team, to fix it. Yeah, so for today, it's all. If you have any questions, just contact me and let's have a talk, a call, a meeting. Okay, so all the best, and we see you soon. Bye.